we've had this conversation. Me and Alexa have had this conversation before, and we find that I think everyone should spend time on a farm or a ranch to get a very clear understanding of where your food comes from, what it takes, what it compromises of. Learn the hard lesson of we don't make friends with our food, because you will.
A pet's not a farm animal.
Right. Right. And so I think it provided an invaluable lesson. We both grew up hunting, understanding what that means. It's not what everybody... I know it's not for everybody. Hunting is not for everyone. I just got back last week from going hunting.
Yeah. For those that have no sort of experience in this, but maybe they see it on TV or something. Yeah. Because they do have hunting channels. But, you know, what does hunting provide for you? Why do you do it? It's not like you have to do it these days.
I like food.
You like food?
And if I was to be honest, it taps into... I get to spend time with my dad. And we don't argue, and it's fun, and he gets to show me things, and we get to do something together that is out of context of just, and you're out in the middle of nowhere, my phone didn't work, like I was talking with you like periodically, and I'm like, this might go through, I don't know. And there's no internet, it's just you and nature, and it's wonderful. And you're...
there's no phone ringing in the background.
There's no phone ringing in the background. and or it's a lawnmower blower thing that's outside. And
it's a certain nature. You know, like some people go to the ocean, some people go camping. But this is like
in the middle of nowhere.
on a distinguished
the one part of the ranch,
hunting space, right?
Yes. The one ranch that there's 4 sections of this ranch, and it was over 10,000 acres is the section we were on. Looking for the animal that we were trying to find. And
in Texas,
down in South Texas.
What animal?
It was called an eland. It's ELAND. They're from Africa.
Yep.
And they do very well in Texas. Most exotic animals do incredibly well in Texas, except for some of them because they don't have enough hair. And when we do have those random freeze time, they don't do well. Okay. They don't have enough fat around their livers.
What kind of animal is this?
It is the world's largest antelope.
Oh,
they're about the size of a bull.
Whoa,
they're a big animal.
That's sizable.
Yeah,
and they can win.
And they will win. They will absolutely win. They have both male and female have the horns. Okay. And they spiral up. And if one was standing in this room right now, I know y'all can't see this, the horns would be going through the sheetrock. So
they're very tall.
They're almost...
No, wait. They're tall or the horns are tall?
Both.
Oh, I see.
So field fence is roughly 5 feet tall, maybe a little bit less. If you have double high field fence, which is most people do when they're doing game ranches, that's 10 to 13 feet tall. Okay. They can scale it.
Oh, wow. Wow. They're jumpers.
They have and it won't be hard. So the regular 5 foot, they almost like you would step over a baby gate.
This sounds a little beautiful. And so
it's pretty neat.
You went with just your dad.
My dad and a family friend.
Okay.
And then you had a guy.
Was the family friend sizable?
Shorter than my dad, but he's a grown man.
Yeah. Well, I mean, it just sounds like if you were actually to hunt and kill these things, then you would probably have to bring them back, right?
Yeah, there's a Jeep for that. That's had a winch.
Well, I was going to say, in Texas, you don't have to worry about that. They take care of, I mean, basically
they do it for me.
Oh, somebody comes out and does it for you.
Well, no, they're with us. Like, we're miles away from camp. Right. So we have this like old school Jeep that you would go around in.
Okay, so you have some helpers.
They had to weld some racks in so that they can pick up and take these animals back. So you field dress it, which means you take all the insides out.
Sure.
And nature takes care of that after you leave.
Okay.
And then when you get back to camp, I know you've learned how to do all this on your own, where you have to skin quarter all of it out, field dress it out yourself.
Yeah, and it depends on where you are and what you're doing. Like in Illinois, we generally we would field dress it, we remove any scent glands and that sort of stuff, and everything else would stay on until we had actually signed it in. Mm-hmm. And then after that, you have a choice of either doing, the butchering yourself or take it to somebody to butcher it.
Yeah. And, for this type of animal that we're talking about, how much food would be provided? Okay.
I could eat on it easily for a year, probably more.
Oh, just you?
2 people.
2 people.
A family could eat on it conservatively because it's red meat. I mean, it's lean red meat. You can call it red meat. It's red, but I don't know. It tastes like a deer and a cow had a baby in the best way. So you get the benefits of it being a lean meat like venison, but you don't get that game taste that you would get with venison. I don't mind that taste, but
and you have to cook it slow and
properly.
Long.
Yes.
Okay, and just so we're getting the full picture of this.
Yeah.
So let's say roughly how much do your tools cost? Like guns, clothes?
This is where it gets into the money. The animal itself.
Like, let's say not necessarily you. No, say not you, like, because I know you like your toys and whatnot. Yeah. But, like, let's go...
No, I'll just... The gun itself?
Yeah, let's go bare minimum. So, like, like if somebody were to take on this situation, but just, like, starter level, not, like,
To go deer hunting or go hunting for this type of animal?
This type of animal.
Okay. Oh, you're looking easily $10,000 or better.
Okay.
It's going to be higher.
Basically, you're going to pay for the animal.
Yes. The animal itself was around 8.
Okay.
8, 9.
So you have your tools and the animal fee.
And the gun without the scope that we had, because you have the furniture that goes on it.
Right.
I might as well have said 15 to 20, probably conservatively.
Okay. Okay, so you have some tools that you have to pay for, and then you have to pay for the animal so it can go home with
then
you.
You have the tip fee for the guide if they do a good job.
Tip fee for the guide.
Yeah, so it's usually 10% of the hunt. I'm sorry, the animal is $6,500. So.
And then how long are you out there?
I was out there for 3 days.
Okay, and did you catch an animal?
No.
Okay, so you have your tools.
Yeah.
And you don't have the promise that you're coming home with an animal.
Right.
So you have your tools and your stay fee and your tip.
Yeah. So, but if you,
minimum
in this particular hunt, if you don't put the animal on the ground and you don't pay for the animal, but you still pay the tip fee. So, which is 10% of the animal. Right. And then you pay your daily rate of staying at the camp, and that's breakfast, lunch, and dinner provided for you. And I had so many good tortillas. It was like some. Oh, so good.
Okay, so you're like going to a hunting spa.
It's not a spa. Okay. It is definitely not a spa. There was something living in my cabin with me.
I specifically said
hunting retreat.
Yes.
Okay.
That's King. I
specifically was like kind of fucking with you.
No. Okay. Like we might have had a fire pit. So you're out there for 3 days. I'm in this bumpy ass Jeep. That, you know, and the guy.
Oh, no, that's called massage.
Massage to your kidneys as it punches you.
Yeah, you have the compression.
And
okay. To put
compression, it's built into the seat in the ground, and
right.
So
it's not like you're getting your nails done, but you're still getting the massage. Okay.
And we always saw was females and their babies, no boyfriends.
Okay. And animals we're talking here.
Yeah, eland, female, and male and female, or young males that were not shooters. We're not doing that. And then you had babies.
Okay, so you have standards on who you're trying to hunt.
You're not just willy nilly shooting out there.
Now,
okay.
All of these animals have been brought in as exotic animals. These aren't like native to Texas, and they really don't want them out.
No, they don't. Because stuff like oryx, for example, which they have on this ranch, and they proliferate in Texas to the point where if you don't cull them, it's an actual problem. Like they're going to overtake the natural flora and fauna of the area because they do that well here.
Okay, so
ORYX.
Certain animals are brought in, pinned, and then they overpopulate. They
accidentally get out.
And then they get out.
And then axis deer are a good example of that.
And when you say pinned, these are pinned on like 10,000 acres. So,
so there's a hole
not like they have a little tiny pin they're in.
You might not know for months.
I mean, that's substantial in Texas. But Texas is big. This is in Texas.
Big, but those animals, they do well. And the oryx actually stand up to the cold a lot better than a lot of the exotic species. But they do well here, and they provide a good amount of meat.
Sure.
So, this particular hunt, no, the gun I was going with was substantial enough to put down the animal with one go.
You can name names or brands or whatever.
340 Weatherby Magnum.
Okay, for people interested in toys.
Fairly large with a nice loophole scope. 1 by 24 scope. I didn't have any problem seeing anything I wanted to see. There's a good chance that you're going to be. I got it within 40 yards of one little herd, which was not normal. And we just happened to have the wind was gusting at around 40 to 50. So they didn't hear us very well.
They didn't smell anything.
Didn't smell a damn thing. Because normally if they see you, gone.
Yeah.
And so we got in on them, but I was so mad. I had one. It was a decent bull in my sights, and I'm like, got it. And I'm watching it, and you can't, like deer, you shoot like right behind the front shoulder right here. Is where the little heart is, they're down. They're dead before they hit the ground, usually. Okay. Hopefully. And so these animals, you can't do that because they're antelope and they're shaped a little different. The heart is actually down and forward behind their shoulders. So their shoulder and shoulder blade actually acts as a barrier between that. And it's kind of down in the breast cage here. So you have to actually be able to punch through that part of the shoulder to get to the vital organs that you need to. So that's where the bigger rifles come in. You don't want to be shooting it with like a 270 or something like that. It won't do it. That's fine for deer. Sure. Even a 308 is fine for deer. And we're not trying to headshot it because I'm taking that home.
So at this point, are you doing it for fun or for food, or both. Are you doing it for both?
If I would say it wasn't fun, I'd be lying. Okay. You get to tap into a part of your brain your little lizard brain that you have you now have to be quiet. You have to shoot properly. You have to put that animal down. I don't like anything suffering at all, period, the end. So I put extra pressure on myself to actually make the good shot. So that's an extra little adrenaline rush. And it's weird because you and I determined this from this conversation, and I think I already knew it, delayed adrenaline response. I'm calm as shit. But when I get that calm, I know what's coming. And then you have the buck fever thing. I'll explain that in a minute, which still happens. If that doesn't happen to you when you go hunting, you just should stop. And so that means we got other issues. But anyway, so I'm calm and I'm watching it, and I had it in my sights, and I'm on that shoulder, but he's still walking. And the guide, because they want to make sure you put down the animal, and some people that go out on these paid hunts are not so great.
Right. I bet.
And he's like, no. I was like, I got it. And he's like, no. I was like, I got it. And he's like, no. And then he walks behind some females, and that was that. I couldn't get a shot off. So we go back to the truck or the Jeep. And so, no, this equaled out to me. No elands going home this trip. And there was only one bull on quota for the whole ranch. That was mine. And which means they don't let you just go out. People just go out there and shoot all their animals up. They go out and do a survey, usually by helicopter, and count the animals that they have on the ranch, because how are you going to cover that much space and actually get to see them? Like, they are good at hiding. Like, how do you not find a herd of 100 plus animals that are 8 feet tall and 1,300 pounds?
Wow.
We drove 170 miles in 2.5 days.
How to phrase it? It's because they're used to avoiding people finding them.
Gone. Like, they walk into the mesquite and I forgot the name of the grass. They're just, you saw them 1 second ago, and now they're gone. Like, it's not easy.
And how long have you been hunting like this?
Since I was a kid.
And, okay, so and how long was your dad doing it? Was he doing it since he was a kid?
Since he was a kid.
Okay. And then, is this the food that you guys mainly eat off of, or do you eat off other food? Because we also cattle. Have other... Okay.
Yeah, we raise cattle, so we have that. And then a lot of our meat in our freezer is wild game. And it puts a whole spot. So you're on this animal, and you're like, get this... You're focused in on it, and you're trying to do the right... And I get it. It's mine. I stalked in on you. I've been hunting you for days. You're mine now. And sometimes it's not that long. You go deer hunting sometimes, and it's like, we're walking outside. Ching, gone. You know?
Yeah, when you're out there,
you still get the same, like,
for a few days. How many hours are you out there for?
All day.
Okay.
Like, all day.
Okay.
And it's not fun.
Sure.
You pee in the woods, and watch out for the mesquite briars, because they'll poke you in the ass.
Yeah.
It's not pleasant. And so getting on an animal, so you get the kill, and you take care of it all, and you get home, and that first meal with it, it's like, this is mine. I did this. I went out and got it myself. And so it's like knowing what it feels like to get punched in the face. This is how I'm going to react. This is now me owning part of my thing. And it satisfies a certain part of your brain. And again, it's not for everybody.
What part of the brain is that for you? Is it that you had it killed?
Yeah, well, I can take care of myself.
You manage that all for yourself from like finding it to the plate.
Yeah. And then same thing when you go fishing to a lesser degree. It's I love fishing.
Because I think do you go deep sea fishing? I think you do, right?
Inshore, offshore. It's fun. And so, but it takes time. You got to find the fish. You got to get the fish in the boat without the sharks eating it if you're offshore, or the dolphins. And then you have to take it home. You have to flay it out. You have to, and then the whole process from going out, getting it, and bringing it back.
Minimum, how much does that cost?
Depends on who you and what you're going out for. But
what you do.
Minimum, you can get on a boat out of Galveston to the jetty for $50.
Yeah.
But then if you go offshore, depending on what you're going fishing for, that can go up to a couple grand.
You can get on a boat out of Galveston at the jetty for $50. They don't like me.
Yeah. Yeah.
They don't like me?
The party boats? I don't like being on the party boats either.
I don't either.
So what they don't like me? Is that what you said?
Yeah.
Okay.
Because you're going to do the fun stuff and they don't like that. You're not fucking.
Well, no. They were fanning sharks.
Oh, I don't like that.
And being that at that time I was on NOAA advisory board. I asked them to stop. They didn't. And I made a phone call. And then all of a sudden, there were a couple NOAA boats showed up.
Yeah.
We don't fin the sharks. That's
What is this? I don't know what that is.
They catch a little shark, cut their fins off.
And so they
let
drown.
the shark go. Shark dies, gets eaten by other sharks.
Oh, why?
Because
it's eating the bait, or
they can sell the fins,
and then they can sell the fins too.
And it keeps more fish.
Medicine.
It's illegal.
Keeps more
fish. It is very illegal.
For medicine? Okay.
I'll let you say that.
It's a whole thing. Yeah. It's a whole thing.
They go to Asia.
Okay.
Yeah.
Wow. Well, so it sounds like you two are very ethical when it comes to securing animals for food.
Yeah, I mean, I haven't gone hunting in quite a while, but I never hunted unless I was going to eat it, number one. And, I know some people are like, oh, I just want the trophy. I want to keep the head and want the trophy. And it's like, that doesn't work that way. You're going to have to skin it out and take the meat and use the meat, or I think it's a really bad thing.
And being able to go and do this for yourself has, this is really great. This is not something I would necessarily do if we bring it all the way back to the zombie apocalypse. I'm not your friend for this. I honestly have been asked to do plenty of things with Amber, but none of these things. And I don't know.
I don't. You wouldn't want to.
I mean, I don't know why I wasn't on the list, but
I do.
Yeah, okay. I don't know.
But I'm not going to talk about the fact that there are rattlesnakes.
I have a picture. I won't show you.
No, you do not have a
well,
picture.
then that's pretty fine. So,
no.
But back to my point, I just for people who don't have a concept for this and things, I just wonder, since I'm not going to do this probably.
No, you aren't.
It sounds like after going through all those steps and money and endurance and learning the skill to do it, when you get back to that plate, it has you be a more complete person. Is that right? Than if you had just gone to the grocery store and let them do it. Did you get any value personally out of that?
Well, yeah.
Well, for me,
I'm just asking.
I'm trying to figure out the right way to
let's think it all the way through.
For me, this is going trophy / exotic hunting is not something that you can justify by having food to eat.
Right.
Because it's too expensive.
Yeah.
You could go buy it cheaper.
Oh, absolutely.
But what it is for me is if you've done that, and I mean, I have not been hunting for quite a while because I've just not felt the need for it. But the fact that I could go out and take a deer anytime I wanted to, or a bear or whatever, and we owned a lot of land, so we maybe didn't hunt exactly in season.
What does bear taste like?
It's tough, and you have to cook it forever, and it makes really good jerky.
Okay. Is it darker?
What?
The color?
It's very dark, but it also is fatty.
Oh.
Which is
Makes sense.
It's why the jerky works.
Okay.
And I mean, I never liked taking bear because, well, all they're doing is cleaning up our mess usually.
Yeah.
But what happens is most of the stuff that's not like a deer. I mean, deer, in my opinion, were basically designed to be food.
Yeah.
And don't mind that. Quail, don't mind quail, migratory, geese, that sort of stuff, ducks. But like when you get to bear or you get to something like that or a cougar or something along those lines, it's like, no, that's not okay. But what happens is people go out, they see one, and they shoot it with their .22 rifle, which does nothing but cause it to flinch and then gets infected. And then they get to the point where they can't actually hunt for the stuff they hunt for, so they start hunting for cattle and people.
Yeah.
Because, food's food. And, and at that point, you get to go, hunt and sort of take them out.
Yeah.
Which means you don't take a .22, except some people do. And you're like, wait, that's not going to do it. And the people who say, oh, well, I got a big gun, take a 30-30. And it's like, that's just going to piss him off.
It's just going to make them angry.
Yeah.
And now you're in trouble because this big angry predator is now coming after you.
Exactly. And they'll turn and just start coming your way. And they don't care because
now
you're trying to kill them. So they're going to pay it back.
Fair. Somebody shoots me and don't kill me. I'm coming after you angry. You should have shot me.
I always got lots of shit when I would take my 30-06. And it's like, I got to be able to knock him down.
Yeah.
You can't knock him down.
No.
If we really get into this, you're going to be really glad I have a 30-06.
Yeah. And if you could do something bigger, maybe that would be good too. It depends on what you're shooting. I mean, grizzly and black bear, either way, something that big and angry. I don't want to deal with it.
Yeah, black bear are pretty small, actually. At least in Illinois, they were.
Okay.
And a 30-06 handled them with a heavy load.
Okay.
And, I had a 45-50, but I could just fire like 2 shots and then I was done for the day.
Done for the day. I got to fire a 470 Nitro Express. Not that long. I'll show you the video later.
Yeah,
that was a big boom.
I thought I wanted to bear 50 caliber until I fired one.
Yeah.
And I really loved firing it.
It was cool.
Once.
One time.
And I'm like, oh my gosh.
Yeah. It does not. It's like, that was cool.
We were shooting at a target 2.5 miles away and it was level. You didn't have to adjust for it.
Nice.
But anyway.
Nice. But one time you're like, I'm good.
But I think, one of the things, as I said, this isn't how you go stock your pantry. Now, if you were in Illinois where there's lots of deer and it's around where you are, then you can go out and get a deer so you can have meat for the next 2 or 3 months.
We do my dad will do, like, when we were younger, we didn't have a whole lot of money. So he would get 6 tags a year here. So at least at the time, I don't know what it is now. I forgot.
That's 6 animals.
6 animals. Okay. And so he would get the 6 deer, and that's what we would be eating on from the year.
And the other thing is, when you're doing that, you don't go for the ones that are really big and have a super big antler rack because they're tough.
They've been around longer. The same thing with cows.
Like, don't pick a fight with the older man that's made it through the world.
Right.
And
full circle.
But when it comes time to eat them, you're going to have to cook them forever.
Or you just grind everything down to hamburger meat. So then it doesn't matter anymore.
And even in the hamburger meat, it's different.
Yeah.
It's not good.
It's different.
Yeah.
The trophy hunting, I know people who do it, and I'm like, if that's you, I don't like it. I don't. If I shoot a bear, cougar, lion, because I'm in Africa, whatever, it better be chasing me, because that's the only point I see to it. Now, there is an exception to this rule for me. Maybe not you. For me,
you're making your own drumming
rules. I want to go hunting in Africa, but it's very specific. I want to go get one of those giant ass crocodiles, because then it'll be a little bit of a challenge. That can eat me, like that. I like the taste of alligator here too. Like I would go alligator hunting because I like the taste of it. But it's also a little bit more dangerous because that thing, if I don't do it right, is a problem. Same thing with bears. If you don't do this right, this is now a problem. And so it's a little bit more of a risk.
Skill,
And
I used to know people in Illinois who would go bear hunting. And their whole strategy was usually to climb a tree and hunt the bear from the tree. And usually it was a little tiny tree. And I'd just be like, no.
Not the right thing.
No.
Hey, bears climb amazingly well. They don't even slow down. They just keep running and grabbing the tree and going up. And shooting down at something is just not what you want to do.
This is before a bunch of bear movies and bear jokes and National Geographics.
Those hunting channels, they will show people in the trees.
Oh, they
tree
still
blinds. They still climb up there and they're like, go away, bear. Because either they're just sitting there with a bow. Good luck knocking one again.
But you can take down a bear with a bow.
Easily. Yes, you can. But down, and as it's running up the tree
and the problem is, going down, you only have their head to shoot.
Oof.
Yeah.
And where you need to hit a bear is right in here.
Wow.
You hit it in the head, it might glance off.
Yeah.
I mean, some of those big broadheads, maybe not. But it still might just tink, which is also what certain bullets will also bounce off their skull because they're that.
And that just pisses them off.
Well.
So, you're learning all kinds of stuff today about that.
When I was growing up, in the kitchen of one of our hunting cabins, there was this little plaque that hung there from my earliest memories until I left for college. It read, "Behold the hunter. They riseth up early in the morning and disturbeth the whole household. Mighty are their preparations. They goeth forth full of hope, returning when the day is far spent, smelling of strong drink, and the truth is not in them."
We'll have you back for sure.
Oh, yeah.
So thanks for coming in, and everybody who's listening, enjoy what you learned and skip the rest. And if you have anything else that we should talk about or anyone else that we should talk to, let us know.
Yeah. Go find a friend. Have them punch you in the face.
Bye.
Bye for now.
We'll be back. Good. Better or worse.
Well, that is 2:00. Thank you so much. Yes.
Really?
Yes.
Oh.
Yes.
Was that like, well, that was quick?
Yeah.
Or was that like, it's only 2?
Yeah.
Yeah. No, that was quick.
How was your experience?
No, it was great.
Yeah. Okay. Wonderful.
Yeah.
Yeah.